Well, hello, guys. So, I just got off a really interesting call with one of my clients today, and it kind of brought up the topic unintentionally um, about like self sabotage. And we kind of went down a little bit of an interesting path, and I'm actually going to be writing a piece on it because it was so good. I loved it so much. But what I wanted to talk about today was four steps that you can take to stop self sabotage. You can take like 5 minutes. Um, form and how do you get rid of them? And basically, I mean, honestly, I need to tell you why you would even care, right? So, I wrote a post the other day and I got some interest in it. But I wanted to first talk about I had a conversation with one of my clients and we were talking about, this belief and basically what it came down to is part of her believed that if she already has pretty much everything in her life, that it wouldn't be fair for her to also have, I said hot body. I don't think she used that term, but I was using the term hot body. So it was really interesting to figure out what was sabotaging her or what is sabotaging her. And to have that come through was, I'm going to tell you right now, I thought it was epic. I was loving it so much. I was like in it, and I'm like, yes, there's so, like, how many amazing women who are confident, empowered, running businesses, that have hot husbands, that have all of this stuff going on for them, but deep down they have this belief that is sabotaging them from reaching their goals. And that could be the reason why you are not reaching your goal. So if this sounds like a super interesting topic to you, just go ahead and give me a hashtag live or give me a hashtag replay so I know who is here or who is watching the replay. So why do you need to know what a parts conflict is? The reason why you need to know what a parts conflict is pretty much every single human on this earth is walking around with these parts that are sabotaging them from reaching their goals. And this can look anything like, on the weekends, eating things that you know are not going to help you reach your goals. This can look like self sabotaging, as in procrastination and not wanting to show up. This could be show up as in starting fights with your significant other. I usually talk about the weight aspect of it because of what I do, but this will help you in all areas of your life. And I always tell people, usually if you have unwanted weight, it is not the food that is the main issue. It tends to be something underneath. And so self-sabotaging habits because of parts conflicts is one of those main issues. And you can release all the weight, but if you don't get, so let's say one of the other things that came up was she knew a bunch of people who had the sleeve. Again, I'm not against that, but the thing that is a problem with that is that that does not get to the root cause, right? So again, it gets to the symptom of overeating, but the overeating is not the root cause. The root cause is going to be underneath. So self-sabotage through parts conflicts, this could be the one thing that if you are taking one step forward, one step back, if you have self-doubts, if there's a goal you want to reach and you're just unable to reach it, this is why you need to know what part conflicts are and how they form. So here is the idea. So at some point in your life, this could be something that you downloaded or it could be based on trauma. So at some point in your life, you had to deal with something and it might have been too traumatic for you to deal with at the time. So your subconscious basically tore off a piece of you to deal with that one issue. And so that one part of you is now trying to protect you, right? And so I talk about how there are really different values to the part and you sometimes. But if you really figure it out and it comes down to your highest value, they usually line up. And that is what we really want to do. So a part conflict is basically a part of you that is trying to protect you, but at some point the way it's going about protecting you is actually sabotaging you from what you want most. So the thing is, a lot of times these parts are created as a survival mechanism. And so if you have moved past survival and you are trying to thrive, it is very, very hard to thrive if you have this survival part mechanism trying to keep you safe from things that aren't actually going to hurt you any longer. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. So let me give you a little example. This is a very, very basic example, but then at the end, I am actually going to, in a couple minutes, I'm going to show you the steps that you can take to do this on your own. So let's say you have the decision to either go get your workout in, or maybe it is to eat the healthier option. In that moment, you have part of you that wants to be healthier. You have part of you that wants to make the good decisions. There's a part of you that is empowered and wants to do the things that are in your best interest because you want to be a good role model. You want to, be able to wear clothes that make you feel good. You want to be sexy for your husband. You want to be desirable. All of these things. But then there's another part of you that wants to eat the junk food, that wants to chill and watch Netflix, that wants to skip the gym and get pizza, right? So, or there's another part of you that is procrastinating, right? So you also might want to procrastinate. Let's say in your business or working out, that procrastination part of you is going to show up and it's going to make it harder for you to reach your goals. The reason is that part of you doesn't want you to feel maybe discomfort. Maybe that part of you doesn't want you to hurt. Maybe that part of you wants to protect you. And in that moment, that part feels that going to work out would be uncomfortable, and uncomfortable means pain and unsafe, right? Or you've had a really hard day. Why would you go work out when you could go lay on the couch and relax? Because that is safer, that is loving, that's comfortable. That part isn't going to want you to do something that you deem uncomfortable. It's going to want you to do the thing that is safe, but that safe thing, that comfortable thing, is actually keeping you away from your goals. Hopefully that is making sense. So you can either do the unsafe thing and go put yourself out there and do the work and go work out and eat the healthy food, or you can do the safe, comfortable thing, the loving thing, the I deserve this because I worked really hard thing of sitting on the couch, eating, something yummy and maybe something that reminds you of when you were younger, really being taken care of, right? So even though consciously we can be like, that's so good, never thought about it that way, right? So, and that's the thing, like consciously we can go, well, that's silly, like getting a workout and eating healthy isn't unsafe, right? But subconsciously, we are associating working out, eating healthy as uncomfortable or unsafe. And so our subconscious, or this parts conflict that is in charge of keeping you safe and comfortable, is going to move you towards the things that are safe and comfortable, like the couch, like taking care of yourself and relaxing and doing things that feel good, like hitting snooze so that you can just get a couple more minutes of sleep, right? So all of these things could be self-sabotaging, but they could be placed there or being protected by a part that wants to keep you safe and healthy and comfortable, right? But the thing is that part now is not actually helping you. The procrastination, the self-doubt, the keeping you from showing up, the working out, the making better choices for yourself, getting in the way of that is actually harming you more. So the key to this is getting to a place where you can connect your self-sabotaging conflicts, that part conflict, and realign it to a purpose that is actually going to be in line with what's in your best interest. So what you want to do, I actually wrote this out, is one, here's the 4 things that I want you guys to do. Number 1, I want you to bring awareness to the part, right? So it can either be procrastination, it could be overeating, it could be self-doubt, right? One, I want you to be aware of what that part is. So you can be like, part of me wants this, right? Part of me wants to get up early in the morning. Part of me wants this other thing. Part of me wants to hit snooze. Part of me wants to go get a workout in. Part of me wants to be comfy in my pajamas on the couch. Part of me wants to write this badass article and put it out there so people know my mission in my heart. And part of me wants to procrastinate and do it tomorrow. I want you to, first of all, don't demonize this part. It's really important for us to understand that all of our parts are good and they have good intentions and they're there to protect us and to love us. But like I said, at some point, that protection and love actually is causing us more harm. So we don't want to demonize this part. It's not a bad part. It's just a part that is no longer necessary, and the things that it once did to protect us are now keeping us from our greatest purpose and our greatest happiness. So you want to try to now understand that part. So number 2, don't demonize it, but you want to understand the part. What would be the good intent behind this part? Because no part conflict is ever put there for a negative reason. It's always for a positive reason. You wouldn't do it if you weren't getting some kind of positive feedback. Something positive is happening for you when you take this action. So number 2, you really want to figure out what is the purpose of this part. Try to understand the part and determine the positive intent or value of the part. So you want to keep it positive and keep asking ourselves why the value is so important until it comes across to your highest value. So if you ask, why does this part of me keep on procrastinating to go get my workout in? Or you could have food or whatever you want. You go, why is it procrastinating? Well, it's procrastinating because it doesn't want me to, I've been really tired lately. I've been working really, really hard, and working out just feels yucky. And I don't want to feel yucky. So this part wants me to relax. This part wants me to take some time for myself, right? This part wants me to feel good. And so by keeping me from working out, this part is protecting me from feeling pain or uncomfortable. Well, that's a negative, right? Pain and uncomfortable, keeping you from negativity is a negative. So how can we get this to a positive? So what you want to do is you want to keep chunking it up and going, what is the purpose? So what is the purpose of keeping me comfortable? The purpose of keeping me comfortable is so that I feel good. Okay, chunk it up more. What is the purpose of feeling good? Well, the purpose of feeling good is so that I'm happy, right? Well, I would go up even higher. What is the purpose of being happy? The purpose of, and it might get a little bit hard and you might go back to the bottom, and that's okay, but I want you to really think, like, what is the purpose of being happy? And for me, personally, it's to feel calm and at peace. Okay, let's try it again. Let's see if we're at the end here. Okay, what is the purpose of feeling calm and at peace? The purpose is to feel freedom. I feel more freedom when I'm calm and at peace, right? And so maybe freedom, maybe love, maybe joy, whatever it is, you want to write that down. So mine was freedom. Okay, maybe that's your highest value. So that's the highest value of that part, right? That part that is sabotaging you is it really wants freedom. Number 2 is then you want to do the same thing for that part that wants to be healthy and go work out. Why do you want to be healthy and go work out? Well, I'm going to feel good. All right. Well, what's the point of feeling good? So that I can live longer. Why do you want to live longer? What's the point of living longer? So I feel free. Well, there you go. Once you get to the point where both values are congruent, freedom is my highest value of both the part and both the part of me that wants to be healthy. And so last thing you want to do is you want to brainstorm. How can you give this part some new jobs to help you feel free? You want to feel safe, but you also want to feel free. So the last thing you want to do is come up with some activities, one, that part can now be a part of. That part wants you to also be free. So how can you create that in a way that is going to help you? Well, maybe getting your workout in earlier is going to help you feel more free to do what you want later on. Maybe you can think about, maybe in my workout, I can like leave some room at the end of my workout to do whatever I want. Maybe you enjoy dancing like I do, and that makes me feel free. Maybe you can have a routine where you add more freedom into your workouts, right? Or another way to do this is just, and your intents are both moving you towards the constantly pulling you back, that you are now aware of this. And this was going to allow you to reach your goals like weight loss without that internal resistance of you deserve this, this and that and the other, right? That internal conflict that really does bring us back into our comfort zone and keeps us from reaching all of our goals. It causes you to have a lot of self-doubt, and it can just give you a lot of frustration when you're trying to achieve things, especially when you're someone who has the job, has the honey. I was gonna say the husband and the money, but I've heard of some guys being called the honey. Okay, so the husband, the money, you can have it all, and you can also have the body. Like, you don't want this one weird belief or part interfering with you having it all, because if you're someone who believes in abundance mindset, there's enough for all of us, right? So we don't want these limiting beliefs, we don't want these parts getting in and sabotaging us, especially if there's something we can do. Now, normally what I do with my clients is we actually do this subconsciously. And so when you do it subconsciously, you get into your body, and getting into your body is really one of the best ways that you can make this change overnight. So if you are someone who wants to make this change overnight with releasing unresolved negative emotions, which again are stored in the body, trauma stored in the body, parts conflicts, limiting beliefs, these things are stored in the body. If you're someone who wants to not waste time, who maybe you're like, okay, this was a really great exercise, but Mel, I want you just to help me like get to the answer like in 90 minutes. What I'm offering right now, and I'm just going to do this, I'm going to offer 3 spots to do some breakthrough sessions. So the breakthrough session is going to be whatever you need. So basically, you'll jump on a call with me. It'll be 90 minutes to 2 hours, depending on how detailed we need to go to solve your challenge. So whatever is it, if you're trying to release weight, if you want to get over procrastination, whatever that thing is for you, we'll go in, we'll release all the unresolved negative emotions, we will align your parts, we will release any disempowering beliefs, and basically give you a little tune-up. So if you're someone who's like, I have the career, I have the money, I have the job, I have everything I want, but there's this one thing, because that was my last client's thing. She's like, I have it all. I have the money, I have the job, I have the husband, I have the family, I have it all. And I asked her, like, how can you manifest all of this? What is different about that that's different about your health and your weight? And we came up with this one thing. So if that's something you're interested in, just for right now, I'm going to be giving 3 breakthrough sessions for $1,111. So 111. You can do a breakthrough session with me. If your life is totally changed and your mind is blown, and you're like, Mel, I need more. What I will do for you then is we'll take that money that you invested in this breakthrough session, and we can actually transfer it right over to my 3-month one-on-one program that I have room for 7 more people before the price doubles. So that's kind of the thing that I'm doing right now. I'm offering it for 7 more people, either 7 more people or the next 2 months, whatever one comes first. And so if you're interested in that, definitely, just put breakthrough below, and I can send you the information if you're interested in this breakthrough session. Again, we'll just jump on a call, determine what your parts conflicts are, what your challenge is. We'll really dial it down and figure out exactly what you need, and we will release that and work through that on the call. And if you are epically mind blown, like I totally expect you will be, you can definitely work with me one-on-one for 3 months and just take that investment and move it right over seamlessly. So you're not out anything, and I think it's an epic deal and a great way to start your weight loss transformation if that is something you are interested in. Anyways, if you have any other questions, you can always reach out to me. My name is Mel. Thank you guys so much for your time, and I hope you have a great day. Love you guys.